Norton, Old Hooky. Remember, life is too short to be drinking shitty beer. Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. There is no sun, it is decidedly grey out there, but I've got some beer to cheer me up. And I've got a beer from the Norton Brewery, based in the Cotswolds in Oxfordshire, and it is their Old Hooky. Now this beer, I've heard some really good things about it. I've seen it loads of times. I've just never bothered to pick it up, so the other day I decided to pick some up. They're quite unique. They have got a steam powered brewery, and if I'm not mistaken, that is the only one in Britain. There may be one up Yorkshire, in the People's Republic of Yorkshire, because they don't like change up Yorkshire, but they don't make a big thing about it, but they do. And I've been sort of having a look at their website, and they've got what seems to be a really old traditional brewery. They even use dray horses or draft horses, and I think they've even got a beer named after one. What was it called? Major Powerful or something, I think it was called. But that beer looks quite good actually, and that's named after a horse, so I might have to track some of that down, but not today. I have got some Old Hooky, and yeah, let's investigate and see what this is. Right, it's a 500ml bottle. It is 4.6%, and it is, according to the label, fruity and full-bodied. It is, well, it doesn't say what sort of beer, so that could be anything. So it's an ale of some description. On the back, Old Hooky is beautifully balanced. It's a beautifully balanced beer, fruity by nature, with a well-rounded body and the suggestive echo of crystal malt. So the crystal malt would give it a slightly sweet flavour. Try it as an accompaniment to meat dishes. Cheers. Okay. And that's about it really. It doesn't really give an indication as to what the hops are or the malt. So let's get it open and let's see if we can work that one out. Just in case you're wondering what the bottle opener is, it's one of them bee barflies bottle openers. They're quite good, check them out. They're not cheap though, and you have to get them from the States. Shame really, but they're really good. I've had that one quite a while now, and it's not let me down yet. On the nose, out the bottle. Smells fruity, dark fruit, some hot bitterness, and some toffee. There's actually toffee on there. It smells interesting. There is the cap, if you are wondering. I think I've destroyed it with that bottle opener, but there it is. If you are interested in that sort of thing, put that on there. Yeah, it does smell quite nice. Almost like a Belgian. I'm getting that sweet toffee malt that you sometimes get in Belgian doubles, but that could be, you know, just me, my perception of it. I don't know whether that glass is dirty or whether it's where I've had it on top of the bottle, but let's just pour it out anyway. Now this is chilled. I've had it in the fridge, but I've let it stand outside for stand here for an hour while I finished work. And there it is in the glass. That is a pint, including the head. Yeah, that is a filthy glass. Look at that. Look at that, with all the carbonation and the bubbles sticking to it. Yeah, that's a disgrace. That is an amber colour, a dark amber. Looks quite nice on the nose. Yeah, more toffee, a touch of caramel, some fruit as well. It smells quite nice. Let's get it down the hatch. Cheers. That is nice. Oh yeah. Toffee malt. Big toffee. Some bitterness. And some fruit as well. But it's very nice. Before, when I smell it, I was sort of alluding that it was Belgian. Not Belgian when you taste it. That is definitely British, and not a bad one either. And I think that's just the right temperature as well. I took it out of the fridge and let it stand for an hour, and it's just slightly chilled now, so I'm getting all in flavours. The body is slightly weak on it. You know, I'm comparing this to stuff like Adnams Broadside. You know, them full-bodied rubies and the bitters. It hasn't quite got that full-bodied, you know, malt base to it, but it's not bad, I'll tell you that. It's very drinkable too. I'm trying to think what this is. It's not quite a best bitter. It's more like just like a traditional British ale. Not a ruby ale either. But it is quite nice. I do like it. There's masses of toffee on there. There's fruit, a touch of dark fruit, and there's nice hot bitterness on the end of it. And that hot bitterness is slightly spicy. Typical British hops. I'm not detecting any American hops in here. It smells like there's sort of Goldings and Fuggles in here. Yeah, I like that. That's quite nice. Leaves a lovely toffee and slightly caramel malty aftertaste at the end of it, and that lingers and lingers, and it's nice. Super drinkable. I'm going through this at a rate of knots and I should stop really, but yeah, I like that. So what's the verdict? I heard good things about this, and I have to say I'm not disappointed. The label, or on the label, it says fruity and full-bodied. Fruity, I will give you. It is definitely fruity. Full-bodied, there's better beer out there with a much better body on it than this. I will say that, and I'm thinking sort of Adnams Broadside, some of the Fuller's stuff, like 1845, the Shepherd Neame stuff. They're sort of, you know, strong ale that they do. This stuff, it's 4.5%, but it tastes stronger. You know, if I was asked to guess, I'd say that was over or around the 5% mark. And I know it doesn't make a difference, but with this, sorry, this is 4.6, not 4.5. With this, it's just slightly weaker, but that's just a minor gripe. Everything else about this is really good, and I really like it. I would give that. I'd give that an 8 out of 10, and I'd recommend it. It was quite cheap as well. I've been looking up some of their other beers as well. Their other beers sound really interesting, and I'm going to investigate and see if I can get some more of their stuff from the Norton Brewery. I want to try it. There's a couple that I looked at and they sounded really interesting. That Major, I think it's Major Powerful, I think it was called. I want to try that. That sounded really interesting and right up my street. That's a ruby ale. So yeah, I might have to scour the internet for it, because you won't be able to buy that in a supermarket. I've seen old Hooky in a supermarket, I'm sure I have. I think it was Asda's maybe. I never bothered. I didn't buy it. Should have done. Because yeah, it's nice. I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. I'm going to recommend it. And remember, beer is working class champagne.